One of my worst fears being out by myself is thinking somebody could be watching me and I'm not even aware of it. My first scary experience was when I was boondocking outside of Las Vegas, a truck up there with a huge spotlight just shining right into my back window. I want to show you what's going on over here because I don't know what the heck this is. A large dead animal near my campsite. There's a fly like just attacking me right now. I know I haven't showered in a couple days, but it's like really aggressive. And he's my best friend on the road. And he loves me so much. And I love him so much. So we're going to answer the question, is van life safe? I love pulling down a long, dusty gravel road that winds its way deep into the forest. There's something about leaving the pavement behind and disappearing into the trees that just settles me. Camping in the woods is one of my favorite things. The trees, the bird song, the quiet that stretches for miles. This is where I feel most at home. It's peaceful, simple, and grounding. But even in places like this, or maybe especially in places like this, I always keep safety in front of mind. There are things that I do to keep safe living in a van, and I want to share those with you. If you have other suggestions, totally drop them in the comments. I know there's so much more I could be doing that I'm not sharing on this video, but I'm just going to share with you how I do life on the road, and hopefully you can learn something from me. Before I even think about setting up camp or making a meal, I focus on how I've parked. I always back in, always. That way, if I need to leave quickly, day or night, I can pull out in seconds. No turning around, no fumbling with gear, just go. Once I'm parked, the next thing I do is put up my front window shades. These help regulate temperature, keeping the heat out on hot days or the cold out on chilly mornings. But more than that, they give me privacy. When you're traveling solo, privacy isn't just about comfort, it's about security. I don't want anyone being able to peek into my space or realize that it's just me in here. And out here, everything gets dusty, especially when I've been on back roads all day. Before I can unpack anything, I give the back of the van a quick sweep, wipe down my gear, especially my Starlink router, and get things clean and ready. It's part of the rhythm of being on the move. Then I start setting up camp. I pull out my rug. It adds a bit of home to wherever I land, and I always set up 2 chairs. Even though it's just me, 2 chairs sends a message. Maybe someone else is inside. Maybe they're coming back soon. It's subtle, but it helps create a little extra layer of perceived security. Solo travel isn't about being fearless. It's about being mindful and intentional with every choice. And once everything is in place, there's this quiet moment where I can just be. The van is settled, camp is set, the day's driving is done. I listen to the sounds of the forest, and for a little while, I let myself enjoy the stillness. I've learned to enjoy my own company out here, to embrace the solitude, not to fear it. But the truth is, this lifestyle isn't always picture perfect. I've had a few experiences on the road that really have made my heart race. Moments where my instincts kicked in and I was reminded just how important it is to be prepared. So we're going to answer the question, is van life safe? 10 months in and I'm still answering this question. I've had really, really good experiences, and I've had a couple scary experiences as well. My first scary experience was when I was boondocking outside of Las Vegas. I got there after dark. I went into an unfamiliar place. I was on public land, but it was near private property. I woke up at 2 a.m. to see a light shining through my back window. I just pulled down my shade a little bit to peek out, and at the entrance of the road where I came down was a truck up there with a huge spotlight just shining right into my back window. Then they started scanning with the spotlight the whole area that I was camped, and it kept stopping right on my van. At first, I honestly thought that it was maybe the police and that I was camped on private property when I thought it was public. And I'm like, no, I really made sure. And then I realized really quickly, it definitely wasn't a police, because if a police officer had been there, they would have come down. So then I realized it probably was some locals trying to scare me off. Time goes on and they come back and they do the same thing for another 15 minutes. At this point, I wanted to leave, but it's 3 in the morning and they're sitting at top where the only entrance is. Like there's only one road that goes down into the area where I'm camping, so I couldn't leave. So I stayed until daybreak, didn't see the truck, stayed awake, couldn't sleep, and I left. I marked that as never go there again. And then I had my whole stranger in my window incident happen. I am pretty deep in the Georgia woods. I'm in this area called Blood Mountain. I've just been all by myself out here. Looking into the window into my van, there's all this wide open space. Like, were they trying to intimidate me? I went into fight or flight mode. I am not going to take on 2 grown men. Why did I open my door? I'm disappointed in myself. Okay, so I did not have my window covers up for that, but there was a good reason. I was outside filming, and so I did not have my window covers up. I only had my 1 camp chair set out instead of the 2 that I always do. And I had just gone into my van to download the videos, and before I even had a chance to put the front window covers back up, that's when those strangers arrived. So I do always follow those, even though in that video you're like, we didn't see that. Well, the reason was I was filming, and I try not to have them up when I'm filming just to give the view of the van to make it seem big and airy, and regretted that after that situation happened. One of my worst fears being out by myself is thinking somebody could be watching me and I'm not even aware of it. That just really creeps me out, thinking somebody could be watching my movements, my patterns, my habits, and is watching me to find an opportunity. It's probably my worst fear, being out here by myself. So I got a new product sent to me that I'm really excited to try. It's a radar security monitoring system. It has a receiver and a detector, and what this actually does is I can set this guy up like on a tree or a tripod around my campground, and I can select a perimeter, and then if anything triggers this, like a person, a vehicle, an animal is in my camp, then this little receiver that's inside my van will not only light up, but it makes an alarm sound. So I'm gonna set this up and see how it works. I'm kind of excited about it though, because I want something to alert me if somebody's in my area. So this is what you're gonna have outside your campsite. This side right here detects incoming people, vehicles, and animals. And then this right here is your receiver, and this is what you're going to put inside the van. There will be a light and an alarm that happens. So to get started, first you're going to turn on both ones. There's an on button on here that you hold down for about 3 seconds and you'll see the light turn on. Okay, this one's on. This one right here, the power button is actually on the side, so you hold this down for a little over 3 seconds and you will see it power on. When it turns blue, it means it's ready to go. So to pair these, I only have 1 detector, so I'm going to select number 1. I want to make this guy number 1. He flashes orange, and then you're going to hold down this pair button with this pair button for a brief hold down, and then this should turn blue or green, I'm sorry. There you go. It turns green when it's ready to go. Now, although this little alarm comes with a nice little mounting bracket to where you can screw it into something, because I move so much and I'm camping, I don't want to screw into the side of the tree. And so an idea I had, because I don't have a rope that fits it exactly, is I realized my hammock strings right here are actually the exact match to where this can slip down inside and fit, and I can point it in the direction that I want so it gets the full perimeter of my entire campground. So we're going to set that up and try it out and see how it works. Guys, look how simple. So on this side and this side, it just like slipped down inside that, and it's a perfect fit, and I can have it pointed right in the direction that I want. I just grabbed my receiver. I'm going to turn both of these on and let's see if we have it working properly. I'm going to hold this one down for 3 seconds to turn it on. Blue light is on. I'm going to slip it back in here. And now I'm going to hold this one down for about 3 seconds to turn it on as well. Okay, it's ready to go. So it's beeping as I'm walking into camp because I am in front of it. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is such a nice safety feature. Okay, I'm going to come out a little bit further and walk into camp. Okay, so this is going to be what's inside my van, but I'm just holding it with me to show you guys this demo. Oh my gosh, it works, you guys. I love this. If somebody is in my campground, I'm going to get notified. And it just feels so good to have that little extra safety, knowing I'm safe in my van. I'll have this alert come on if there's any kind of movement out here in my campground. Makes me feel so much better. Puts my mind at ease a little bit more. The other part that I like about this system so much is if you don't want the default settings that it comes with, you can actually set a perimeter by pushing this probe set button. You push it once until it lights up, and then you walk around the perimeter of your campground that you want it to monitor, and then you push it again and it sets it for your transmitter number 1. That is my new campground safety tool that I've implemented, and I can tell you it definitely gives me more peace of mind and just having that little extra alert if someone's going to be in my campground. I want to show you what's going on over here because I don't know what the heck this is. Definitely a very large animal. Like, oh my gosh, this sucker is huge. What is this? Like an elk or something? Okay. So I got my bear spray very close to me. More bones over here. Obviously an animal that's eaten it and drug pieces around. There's more over here. Looks like, nope, that's someone's trash bag. Thank you, human kindness, for taking your trash with you. A large dead animal near my campsite. Like, look, here's the bones, and there's my van. Let's just camp right next to where a large elk was killed. Well, this video is all about safety, so I'm just gonna throw you in the middle of it. Today though, I have driven 6.5 hours, set up camp, and I'm pretty exhausted. So I think I'm gonna just heat up a little bit of dinner, watch a show, and get to bed early tonight. And tomorrow, do a little bit of exploring, hang around camp. I think I'm gonna pull out my hammock and do some reading and just like relax and enjoy camping. It's kind of my plan, but pretty wiped out. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Most of my videos have some kind of a learning experience in them. I put everything in there, the good, the not good, when I make a mistake, just because that's real life. We all do. I think the things that bother me the most when I share are when people are really judgmental in the comments. Well, if you're going out on your own, you're pretty much asking for it. That makes me so mad when I read that, because I'm like, that is just a horrible mindset in general. You could apply that to anything and that's a horrible mindset. Or you're just a female solo camping, you should never do that. I think things happen to both men and to women. It doesn't matter your gender. I think things happen whether you're in nature or you're in an urban setting. Good and bad happen everywhere. It's just being as careful as you can in those situations. Anybody should be able to go out in nature and enjoy it and not feel that they're being told they shouldn't because they're by themselves, or especially because you're a woman. I do think it's really important to listen to your intuition, and that's why if I get to an area and I feel like it's unsafe, I'll leave and I won't stay. And I say the same thing to everybody that talks to me about it. I'm like, of course I've left places that I felt unsafe, but I also would do that in the city too. I've been in situations where I've left. So I don't think it matters. I think you're just more aware and more cautious when you're by yourself. I just wanted to share that because it's something that some people have felt like really strongly opinionated about, and that's fine, that's your opinion, but I also think it's sad reading a lot of the comments where women are sharing like they don't do those things that they want to do because they're afraid or they feel like it's unsafe. And I would challenge you and say, like, take a safety class, be aware. What I really love are the comments that say that they've been inspired to go out and camp by themselves or go to some hot springs that they saw me go to. Like, those just fill my soul when I know that I've inspired other people to get out there and enjoy it for themselves too. I'm not going to live my life based on how I think everybody else wants me to live it. I'm not telling other people how to live their life. I'm not saying that it needs to look a certain way. I'm just sharing how I'm doing it, and I hope that that inspires you to do the things that you want to do for yourself as well. So we're gonna come outside for a little bit so he can get some fresh air. I put his harness on him because there's so many trees and stuff around. A lot of birds in the forest, huh? A lot of birds out here. So we're just kind of hanging out here. I have him on his harness, but I wanted him to kind of explore a little bit because the weather is so nice, so he can actually be outside right now. Where we're going, it's going to be super hot, and I think it's just nice if he gets the chance to explore now that he can. But the minute he feels resistance on this leash, he goes berserk. He hates it. Like, all of a sudden he'll kind of have a freak out and try to get out of it, which a lot of the times he can. So I'm only going to do for a little while. I woke him up from his nap, and I think if I let him be outside for a little bit, he'll rest the rest of the day and be happy that he's gotten to be outside at least. And he's my best friend on the road, and he loves me so much, and I love him so much. I decided to go for a little bit of a walk. I kind of want to just explore around. I do a lot of hiking and stuff by myself, and a safe way to do that is I always carry jogger spray, like pepper spray, and if I encounter humans that are unkind, we'll just say that, or wildlife, I always carry bear spray with me. I'm always cautious of my surroundings. I download my trails in advance using All Trails. I'll carry things like my backpack with a first aid kit, an emergency camping bag, my compass, my life straw, just all those things, because there are situations I've gotten in that you're not expecting to get hurt or you're not expecting to get lost, and so it's always good to have those. So I'm in this area where there's all these brown rocks, and I just found like this obsidian piece, which I almost was wondering, like, I immediately think arrowhead, but it's not shaped enough. I don't think it is. It's broken off here, so I don't know if it was used as an arrowhead at one point in time, but the fact that this rock is here and you can see everything else is like this brown is just interesting. This right here definitely reminds me of Arizona, where you have the cactus and then you have all the trees behind it, which is kind of crazy, but fun to see a cactus out here. So many wildflowers started blooming. It's fun to see all the new growth and to see everything coming up and all the colors. Well, I found a very apparent game trail. It kind of goes up along this mountain here, comes back down to where I am, and then it turns and goes down here. This down here is like an old creek bed. Right now there's no water in it, but definitely a game trail. Well, it looks like also elk. So obviously elk have been on this trail as well too. And did I mention carry water, lots of water with you? You should always have plenty of water. I've done that a couple times where I thought, oh, I'm not going to be gone long, and have regretted it because temps can heat up really fast sometimes, especially when you're in an unfamiliar area. Always carry water, non-negotiable. And just arriving back at camp. Nothing better than this. It looks like a good time to read my book. It's all shaded here right now. I think I might do that. I know you're hungry. Oh, you're so hungry, huh? Here you go. Here you go. Oh, there you go. Yes. Oh, yes. Get you fed, huh? There's been a squirrel outside and he has been intently watching it. Look how fat he looks right now. Like he's taking my whole table. I really don't feed him that much, you guys. I know it looks like I do, but I really don't. Look at him. Apollo. Apollo. Babe, you're a little chunky. You're a little chunky right now. Yeah, see, you're just getting just that winter coat on him. I have a lot of new subscribers and I'm kind of curious where everybody is from. So maybe drop in the comments, let me know like what area you're from, because I love to kind of see that. Tacos are all done and the sun is going down, so that means it is time to have a movie, eat some dinner, and get to bed. Right, Apollo? Are you ready? Are you still watching that squirrel? You're still watching the squirrel, aren't you? Is van life safe? That's the question. I would definitely say yes. I would say that you're going to have good and bad no matter where you're at. So where I choose to be is where I feel gives me the most joy and fulfillment in my life, and that is traveling in the outdoors. Now, that looks different. So for you, it could be living in the city. Definitely not for me, but for you, that could be it. To me, the city and all those people are a lot scarier than here in the woods and a possible bear watching me right now. And there's a fly like just attacking me right now. I know I haven't showered in a couple days, but it's like really aggressive. I would say listen to your intuition. That's our God-given characteristic that we all have. Learn from your mistakes, because I've had a couple from things that I've gone through where I've changed things afterwards. But being aware of your surroundings, taking precautions, and staying connected to people like your family and friends makes a huge difference in safety. So, yeah, I would say van life is safe, right?